take some good quality internet. So if it is arranged, then soon I will take some good quality internet facility. Less problems. Okay. Um, okay, so chapter 1, text 31. Yesterday we discussed about uh, Arjuna's first argument out of 5, compassion. So that same is going on. He will give some more reasons. Okay, so material compassion. Now, yesterday we discussed 28, 29, and 30th. Okay, so first argument regarding compassion is over. Now, second argument is about the loss of enjoyment. Okay, so compassion due to soft-heartedness he was expressing, because anyway he's a devotee or pure devotee. And another reason, so 28 shloka says that uh, because he's a pure devotee, so pure devotee is naturally compassionate towards others, not only our side but the other side of the enemy side. And the 29 and 30 says false compassion due to material fear. So that's another. Now, 31 shloka to 35 shloka, Arjuna's second argument, that is the loss of enjoyment. Okay. Nacha shreyo anupashyami hatva swajanam ahuve na kanche vijayam krishna nacha rajyam sukhani cha. Na nor cha also shreya good anupashyami do I foresee hatva by killing swajanam own kinsman ahuve in the fight. Na nor kanche do I deserve vijayam victory krishna o krishna nor cha also rajyam kingdom sukhani happiness cha also. I do not see how any good can come from killing my own. Arjuna is saying, I do not see how any good can come from killing my own kinsman in this battle. Okay. Nor can my dear Krishna, nor can I desire any subsequent victory, kingdom, or happiness. Okay. When all my relatives are going to be killed here, how I don't see uh, any good for me after that, after this battle. So, purport by Srila Prabhupada, without knowing that one's self-interest is in Vishnu or Krishna, conditioned souls are attracted by bodily relationships. People are forgetting that they are connected with Krishna, and the bodily relationships are secondary, but they are putting them first and then second on Krishna. Okay. Because they are many people will easily leave Krishna. Why? Because what my mother will say, what my father will say, what my husband will say, what my wife will say. No? So because they don't like me to do Krishna Bhakti, so I am leaving Krishna Bhakti. Okay. So that is like putting material worldly relationship at the first place. And Krishna, our eternal relationship with Krishna, putting on the second priority. So hoping to be happy in such situation. And people think if they keep, people think very limited way. They think, okay, my material people don't want me to do bhakti, so let them be happy, because that is happiness. Somebody will ask, many people ask this question that if I do bhakti and follow this rules regulation, then what will happen? My all the relatives and friends will leave me. So how I will live my life alone? Acha, that is a good idea. But one day anyway they will leave you. At the time of death, can we say this thing? No, I don't want to leave my family and relatives. We cannot say that. So why can't we do whom we have to anyway leave one day? Then today we can do bhakti. And if they are good, they will come. If they are not good, they will not come. But at least you will get Krishna, na? Because these material relationship, godly relationship, anyway you have to leave. And in that case, at the end of life, what is there in our hand? Zero. But if we worship Krishna in devotional service, then there may be case that our family members and relatives and friends may not like it and they will leave us. Okay, fine. But at least at the end we have Krishna in our hand. We have some good devotee friend who will come and chant for us at the time of death, because they have that high sense that Krishna conscious sense is there. They will come and help us at the time of death in Krishna consciousness manner. Otherwise, one person was telling that when his mother was dying, almost like 85, 87-year old, that lady was dying, then there is desire, and so much desire was there, and this old lady who is almost like 87, 88-year old, she's saying that I want to eat chicken. So her son, thinking that I am doing very great service to my mother, he went to the city and bought chicken and gave her at the last moment. Now only Krishna knows what will happen. Okay. So if a devotee is there nearby, he will not do all this nonsense. He will chant Krishna, Hare Krishna for us. So at least at the time of death, we will hear Krishna and he will remind us so we can chant Krishna. Right? So in that way, there is very good chance, okay, of a better spiritual destination. So people are thinking that actually material relationship and godly relationship will give us happiness, and for that they are forgetting their self-interest, that Krishna is our self. Krishna consciousness is our self-interest. That they are forgetting. Arjuna appears to have even forgotten. In such a blind conception of life, they forget even the cause of material happiness. Arjuna appears to have even forgotten the moral codes for a Kshatriya. Okay, even people are forgetting their own duties when they come into that godly affection. Just see, a person who is an honest, suppose say policeman, but when he sees that my son not doing nonsense or my relative, he start doing little cheating just to save his family member, right? That is there. So even the moral codes, even the basic thing or basic duties, they forget. So even at least basic duty they follow, then they will be happy in material world. But that also they forget that is that much strong is his godly connection. So it is said that two kinds of men, namely the Kshatriya who dies directly in front of the battlefield under Krishna's personal order, and the person in the renounced order of life who is absolutely devoted to spiritual culture, are eligible to enter into the sun glow, which is so powerful and dazzling. Arjuna is reluctant even to kill his enemies. That alone is related. Okay. He thinks that by killing his kinsmen, there would be no happiness in his life, and therefore he is not willing to fight, just as the person who does not is not inclined to cook. Okay. He's saying, anyway, after all, my relative will die and I will become king. What is the use when there is no relative and friend? So the way a person, if he is not hungry, he don't feel to cook. Okay. So similarly, Arjuna is thinking, after that there is no happiness, so I could fight. So he has now decided to go into the forest and live a secluded life in frustration. But as a Kshatriya, he requires a kingdom for his subsistence because Kshatriyas cannot engage themselves in any other occupation. But Arjuna has no kingdom. Arjuna's sole property for gaining a kingdom lies in fighting with his cousins and brothers and reclaiming the kingdom inherited from his father, which he does not like to do. Therefore, he considers himself fit to go to the forest to live a separate type of frustration. So anyway, if he goes jungle, he will not be happy because he is not Kshatriya. He is Kshatriya and jungles they cannot live. Kshatriya means here they have to do somewhere. Okay, and if they why because if they do something different than their nature, then they will not be happy. Okay, it will come in the third chapter. Kim no rajena govinda किं भोगैर्जीवितेन वा येषामर्थे काङ्क्षितं नाराज्यं भोगासुखानि च तायमेव स्थिता युद्धे प्राणाय त्यक्त्वा धनानि च आचार्या पितरा पुत्रास्तथैव च पितामहः मातुला शुश्रा पौत्रा शाला सम्बन्धिनस्तथा एतान् हन्तुम् इच्छामि घनतोऽपि मधुसूदन अपि त्रैलोक्य राजस्य हेतो किं न मही कृते नियत धृतराष्ट्रान्न काप्य स्यात् जनार्दन O Govind, of what avail to us are a kingdom, happiness, or even life when all those for whom we may desire them are now arrayed? O Madhusudan, when teachers, fathers, sons, grandfathers, maternal uncles, fathers-in-law, grandson, brothers-in-law, and other relatives are ready to give up their lives and properties and are standing before me, why should I wish to kill them? Why I should kill them, even though they might otherwise kill me? Let them kill me, no problem. O maintainer of all living entities, I am not prepared to fight with them, even in exchange for the three worlds. Let alone this earth. What pleasure will we derive from killing the sons of Dhritarashtra? Okay. So Arjuna has addressed Lord Krishna as Govinda because Krishna is the object of all pleasures for cows and the senses. By using this significant word, Arjuna indicates that Krishna should understand what will satisfy Arjuna's sense. But Govinda is not meant for satisfying our senses. If we try to satisfy the senses of Govinda, however, then automatically our senses are satisfied. Materially, everyone wants to satisfy his senses, and he wants God to be the order supplier for such satisfaction. The Lord will satisfy the senses of the living entities as much they deserve. This is very important. As much they deserve, but not to the extent that they may cover to it. But when one takes the opposite way, namely when one tries to satisfy the senses of Govinda without desiring to satisfy one's own senses, then by the grace of Govinda, all desires of the living entities are satisfied. Actually, Krishna is saying Govinda, addressing Krishna, Arjuna addressing Krishna as Govinda. He's saying, you are Govinda, you are master of senses, so you know what, how my senses will be pleased, so please do that. But Govinda is not for me, for fulfilling it and for satisfying our senses, but we are there to satisfy Govinda's sense. Okay, so our benefit is when we engage our senses in the service of Govinda. Okay, so here, if sometimes people will ask Krishna, give me this, give me that. Okay, so Krishna does not give it. So everyone want to satisfy the sense. They want God to be order supplier for their satisfaction. People think I will just go to temple. I'll order God. Give me this, give me this, give me this, and Krishna will give. He is waiter here. Krishna is waiter. He is standing with a menu card. What and all you want? I am just saying, bring this, bring this, bring this. No, Krishna is not like that. Okay, the Lord will satisfy the sons of the humanity as much as they deserve. So people are asking, Krishna, give me bungalow, give me a big car, big house, nice wife, nice everything. But Krishna will give only if you deserve. So there is something called desire, something called deserve. So you may desire anything, but whether you deserve it or not. So people think, Arey, I worshipped Krishna, he did not give me. Whether you deserve it or not, then only he will give. Na? Okay. Some people did lot of sinful activity and then they are saying, oh, God is not listening. Arey, you are doing already so much sinful activity, you will have to suffer, right? So Arjuna's deep affection for community and family member is exhibited here, partly due to his natural compassion for them. He is therefore not prepared to fight. Everyone wants to show his opulence to friends and relatives. Very important. Everyone wants to show his opulence to friends and relatives. And but Arjuna fears that all his relatives and friends will be killed on the battlefield and he will be unable to share his opulence after victory. So nobody is there to show. You are so rich, but there is nobody to see that you are rich. What is the use of that richness? That's the point here. You are king, but you cannot put your status on Facebook that now you became king. Nobody is there to know that you are king. What is the use of such king? Like that's why Facebook is so famous nowadays. Anything you do, you put, and people will like, comment, wow, wow, wow. You feel, wow, I'm now king, right? But if there is no, in your friend list, there is no friend whom you will show. Okay, that is why some people who have very less friend, they don't put so much status. And even they put so that more followers will come, more friends. So Arjuna is thinking, anyway, everybody will die here, and after that I will become king. Whom I will show that I am a king. So this is a typical calculation of material life. Typically, people think like that. Okay, that's how if you see that suppose anybody who studied in a boys' college, only boys are studying that. In that college, boys are not much bothered about how they speak, how they behave, how they are shirted. No, they just come and go and study simply because nobody is there to show whom they will show, right? But if there are girls, then they will look and before leaving the room, they will check 10 times in the face whether I am everything pakka or not like that because they know somebody is there to see, right? So anything we do need, right? So this is a typical material calculation. The transcendental life, however, is different. Since the devotee wants to satisfy the desires of the Lord, he can, Lord willing, accept all kinds of opulences for the service of the Lord. And if the Lord is willing, he should not accept a farthing. Actually, devotees are accepting also, not accepting. Depends whether what Krishna wants. If, as per Krishna's desire, they may become even king. And if Krishna wants, they may live happily in the jungle. Devotees are like that only. Okay, they live only with Krishna's desire, in line with Krishna's desire. Okay, so before coming to Krishna consciousness, a person may be like you are going to airport, you are flying to one city to another city. You will check very nicely whether your dress is good, your hairstyle is good, everything is nice. You know? But uh, like you can never imagine somebody going in some typical Indian dress in airport. But now after becoming devotee, everywhere they are going in dhoti kurta only. Same dress everywhere, same color everywhere, same hairstyle everywhere. Okay, because they do not worry what these people will say. And when you, it's all mental thing. Before that, earlier you will think what people will say. I'm going like this in flight. People will say also, "Are you are going in airport? You are going to 5-star hotel. At least put some dress which suits to 5-star hotel or airport or this that." But after becoming devotee, they go in same dress, same color, airport, 5-star hotel, even to meet Pradhan Mantri, they go like this only. Okay. So Arjuna did not want to kill his relative, and if there were any need to kill them, he desired that Krishna kill them personally. And he is saying that Krishna, you kill personally. Anyway, you want to kill now, you can kill them personally. Okay. He's saying Madhusudana. Anyway, you killed a big demon, na Madhu demon and all. So you kill here also. At this point, he did not know that Krishna had already killed them before they are coming into the battlefield, and that he was only become an instrument for Krishna. Arjuna is not able to understand that actually he is just an instrument. He is not going to kill anybody. Okay. This fact is disclosed in the following chapters. As a natural devotee of the Lord, Arjuna did not like to retaliate against his miscreant cousins and brothers, but it was the Lord's plan that they should all be killed. And anyway, he is devotee, so also, and being a natural devotee, he also, in that way also he is not willing to kill them. But Krishna wants that these people should be killed. The devotee of the Lord does not retaliate against the wrongdoer. But the Lord does not tolerate any mischief done to the devotee by the miscreant. Actually, if some problem, somebody is disturbing me, then devotee should be not too much reacting, okay? But Krishna will not see this thing as like same way. Devotee, some problem to me, no problem. But Krishna will say, oh, some problem to my devotee, he will retaliate. Other devotee, if you see that there is some problem to other devotee, you should act there. So that is why when Durvasa Rishi gave curse, or like he created this fiery demon for killing Ambrish Maharaj, immediately Sudarshan came in action. Okay. Ambrish Maharaj did not say anything. Ambrish Maharaj accepted, okay, no problem. But Sudarshan came in action. And first he killed fiery demon, and immediately he ran behind Durvasa. And Durvasa went all the way to Brahma. Brahma said, Hare Krishna, thank you so much. Don't disturb me. So Brahma said, don't disturb here. And then he went to Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva said, please forgive me. If any other case, I will help you. But here, in this case, you are doing Vaishnava offense. Please forgive me. He went to Vishnu. He said to Vishnu, Are, after taking shelter to Vishnu, Krishna, everybody is saved. There is no further shelter. Vishnu said, kindly forgive me. I cannot help. He said, Are, you only promised that anybody comes to my shelter. Definitely I will promise. I will help them. I will save them. I will protect them. Krishna said, I promised. But here is the case little different, because you are doing Vaishnava offense, and my whole power is there because the Vaishnavas are worshipping me. Krishna is saying that I am powerful only because of Vaishnavas, because of my devotees, and you are doing offenses, so I do not want to come in between. Kindly forgive me. Then he said, Durvasa said, Are, where I'll go now? You are the supreme shelter now. Where I'll go? Krishna said, that I don't know. At least you should tell something, na? Krishna said, anyway, there is only one way. If you go to the same person whom you offended, if he forgives you, then there is some solution. Then he came all the way back to Ambrish Maharaj, paid obeisances, please forgive me. Ambrish Maharaj said, there is no problem only. Why you are running here? There, you are my friend, don't worry. Ambrish Maharaj said to Sudarshan, if at all I have done any great bhakti, anything I have done in my life, take all the things, but please leave Durvasa. So the Durvasa Rishi did offense to Ambrish Maharaj, and Ambrish Maharaj's greatness is that in order to save Durvasa, he gave all of his pious duties, bhakti, everything, all things he gave. He is not saying, Durvasa, just you saw my power, you were trying to act too much. Huh? See my power. Huh? Next time onwards, be in control, okay? He is not speaking like this. He is saying, my dear Durvasa, please forgive me. And he is saying to Sudarshan that please forgive him and take all my credit, all my bhakti, but in result of it, please leave Durvasa. This is great devotees. The devotees are like that. But if there is a harm in other, like Sudarshan saw, there is some problem happening to another devotee, Sudarshan came in action. Ambrish Maharaj did not say, Sudarshan, please come and protect me, this fellow is killing me. No. Sudarshan came in action. Krishna already arranged many devotees to help other devotees. Okay. So in this way, Krishna himself do not like this. Somebody is disturbing his devotee. But devotees, when he is disturbed, he keeps calm. No problem. Okay. So the Lord can excuse a person on his own account. And Hari stane aprade tare Hari naam tava stane aprade nahi paritran. If somebody does aprad to Hari, and chant Hare Krishna, then that aparad will be vanquished. But if somebody does aparad to a Vaishnava, then aparad done to a Vaishnava has no solution. Only if that same Vaishnava you go ask forgiveness, then if that Vaishnava forgives you, then it's fine. Okay. So the Lord can excuse a person on his own account, but he excused no one who has done harm to his devotee. So if somebody does any harm to any devotee, Krishna will never forgive. Therefore, the Lord was determined to kill the miscreant, although Arjuna wanted to excuse them. Arjuna said, I will excuse them, leave them. But Krishna said, no, you can leave, but I cannot leave. They have done offense to you. Yudhishthira Maharaj, all the Pandavas, Draupadi, they are all my dear devotees. I want them to be killed. Okay, Krishna takes it very seriously. So in this way, this Arjuna's argument that loss of enjoyment, because he's saying anyway, how I will enjoy, even though I will become king, I will become victorious, but there is no enjoyment there. So what I'll do there? Okay, so like that, 31 to 35, this section is there. This is the first part. Okay, so Hare Krishna. Thank you so much. Shri Guru Bhagavad Ki Jai. If you have any question, comment, you can ask. Okay, if no question, you can, then it's fine. You can just drop. Now, English Bhagavatam class is there, and whoever want to attend, they can connect there. Okay, thank you so much. Hare Krishna. And if you, I have sent some questions today, I will send further question from chapter 1. So, I'll from introduction section, you can answer the questions, and further question I will send today. Okay, thank you so much. Shri Bhagavad Ki Jai. Hare Krishna.